Hey guys, Go Minecraft here, bringing you another Minecraft video on Minecraft Survival World. Let's get right into it. Today's gonna be a rainy mining adventure. So first things first is we have to go out and find a lovely little cave for us to explore and clear all the monsters out of and try to get some more. But of course, we might just die. You know, it's tradition. And the reasons for today's expedition is because I made a promise to you guys last episode or two that I voiced that I was going to switch to iron because to appease the copper haters in my community, I'm going to switch to iron so that they stop printing so hard. Because copper, is so bad. I don't think copper's that bad. I think it's a lot better than stone. Is it as good as iron? No. But it's a whole lot cheaper because, I can find tons of copper real fast. Iron takes me a little bit of time. So I'd rather lose a bunch of copper stuff versus iron stuff. But anyways, the piece of masses, I'm going to go through here and try to collect as much coal, iron, and copper, and other materials as I can. So that way we can progress in this world and make it an awesome little base. It's already started looking pretty good. So we started off with some coal here in this ravine area, which was pretty nice. Now, this ravine was pretty convenient because it's super close to the house. So, when I inevitably kicked the bucket down the road, it'd be far less painful to actually walk to it repeatedly. But hopefully we won't have to have that happen, right? Right, guys? Right. And as you see, I finally made a shield again. I had a shield before, but then I lost it, and I never bothered to make a new one. And now I bothered to make a new one, so that's good. Which did help me a lot. So that's nice. Also, I want to give you a little bit of heads up on the audio throughout this video. It might be a little janky because I'm currently in the car on the way to Grandma's house. To my grandma's house. So, don't worry. My mom is actually driving me to the grandma's house, so I'm not driving and recording at the same time. I'm just in the car while I'm recording this, so the audio may be a little janky. I'm going to try to keep it as clean as I can, but I can't make everybody else quiet outside, so it is what it is. So we have our first little guest there, Mr. Zombies, which I managed to kill without being killed, so that was nice. I also realized that I really need to get more food. I need to get some steaks and stuff, but that's later down the road. For now, potatoes work just fine. Gonna gather up some more coal and continue on exploring this little cave. Well, it's a really big cave. But I tell you, it is mods packed. Literally spent this whole video. You'll see. Mr. Golden Zombie's coming out again. As you can see, there's just so many monsters just spawning in here. Because that's always the first job I have to have when I'm doing mining adventures. Is that I always go through and light up at least the main part of the cave that I'm exploring to make sure there's no monsters in there. And get all the ores without getting stuck up on by a creeper and exploded or something. But it's always a challenge because, as you can see, death is inevitable. But it's getting better there. Getting better. And switching to real life topic, I finally got some more stuff planted up in the garden because I got most of my dahlias and other summer bulbs planted up in some small pots for now. Later on they're going to move on to bigger pots, but I have to wait for them to come in the mail. And I have to wait to get dirt to put them in, so they're kind of on a standstill because they had a debacle. Because I ordered some boxes from boxes I'm using as pots from Walmart.com, right? Thinking they were just like the average 11 by 11 by 11 size, a kind of box that the store bags come in or something like that. And it was oddly specific, but I thought it was decent sized. But it turned out to be a tiny little 6x6 cube, which of course you can barely plant an herb plant in it call it a day. So certainly we'll grow no squashes or melons or pumpkins, which is what I'm trying to get growing. Because the first round of boxes that I have that I'm going to use as pods, that finally are big enough because I did manage to order another batch from Walmart, even though I had to wait a few days for a refund to happen, but I had enough money to cover the costs initially now. But the refund is coming, so it pays for itself. And the first batches of boxes, I'm going to get my squashes, pumpkins, and melons ready, because if you don't know, timing with those things are very important, because if you don't get them planted ASAP as soon as it's like June or starts getting hot outside, then they don't have enough time to mature and actually fruit and produce like the pumpkin, squash, or the melon, and they will just kind of grow a vine and then get frosted and die without producing anything, which would be kind of a waste of a seed. And I really want to have a good year. Then I gotta also deal with the thing squash bugs too. But I use neem oil as a preventative spray and a treatment, and they should be taking care of that. Then I'm also going to be direct seeding a bunch of my beans and corn here next couple of weeks, and a bunch of greens and all kinds of stuff. The garden will truly be alive and be ready to feed me. So that's fun. Because last year's season was okay, but I planted the squashes way too late. I started them in like July, which is like a full month and a half or so behind of when you're supposed to start them. And they grew, and they started to produce right around the same time as frost came along. I have 2 pumpkins and some decorative gourds that managed to form up before the frost, but beyond that, I had nothing besides some baby squashes, and that's about it. Between that late start of the season and the squash bugs, I pretty much had no luck. And then melons, a tiny little baby melon, which hardly formed a melon. It was very young though. It was kind of like a green melon, which if you don't know, it's kind of like eating the rind piece. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely no watermelon that you want to grow. And then I did manage to grow 2 cantaloupes though, but this dang groundhog that I had in my yard ate one of my cantaloupes before I got to it. The other one I did manage to eat, and that one had nice orange flesh, and that was pretty yummy. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Oh, and I managed to get my potatoes planted as well. I have rustic potatoes, I have baby potatoes, little tiny ones that are supposed to be harvested tiny, and then I have a red potato and a deep purple potato, and 3 potatoes growing, so that's nice. They should produce pretty nicely and be able to feed me for a long time, hopefully. Last year though, I had an issue with that as well, because I dug up my potatoes and I hardly get anything off them, like barely anything. And I was like, what the heck? So I dig down there and I see this giant rug worm thing. It was disgusting looking, and I killed it. Not violent, but I did not like him. He was creepy and he ate my potatoes, and then later found out he was a potato bug, and he pretty much ate my entire crop, which I was like, why do you do that? I want to eat those potatoes, not you. So that was not great. And then I had another situation, because I don't know if you guys remember or not, probably not, but back like a couple months ago, I tried to rescue a little like orange kitty cat and try to bring him home to somebody in the trailer park that lives next to me. Well, the trailer park that's next to my house, they lived there. So I returned him thinking that she would keep him inside, but she didn't. And I brought him inside and I gave him food and water. So now he keeps on coming onto the porch now and again, yelling at me because he wants to come inside. But at the same time, he can't come inside because he's a boy cat, and I have 2 boy cats already, and they don't like him, and my dog will terrorize him. So it's like, he breaks my heart because he's a sweet boy and he's cute and I love him, but it's like, you gotta go home, buddy. I can't keep you. And I know you guys might be thinking I'm being a little cruel, but my neighbor feeds the street cats all the time. She has like 3 or 4 of them that she feeds all the time, so he has food over there if he really needs it, and water and shelter. So it's like, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, I know he's got some resources for him, and I physically cannot provide anything for him. Because this wouldn't be fair on buying up animals to bring in that cat. Also, he was really sweet when I found him originally. Now he's acting a little bit more like a street cat. He'll meow at you, when you try to pet him, he will run away, so I don't know what cat think, especially for street cats. But you know what they say, once you feed a street cat, they will keep coming back, so sort of the double-edged sword qualities of being an animal lover is you want to care for all the animals, but sometimes it comes up and bites you in the butt. So another thing I want to talk to you guys about is I was looking up wood prices last night just out of curiosity because I really want to build my own greenhouse for 2 different reasons. A, I just want one that's structurally sound, because any of the other ones that I found that aren't too expensive online are basically kites in Michigan, and they will just blow away as soon as the wind gets hold of them and ruin them. And I just want something that's structurally sound and solid that I know my plants are safe in. And I was looking at the wood prices, and wood prices are pretty decent right about now. And although the additional cost sounds like it's going to be a lot, overall it's not going to be that much. Because it is like roughly about $500 or so for just the materials and things, which is, it's expensive, yeah, but that's what a good greenhouse will cost you. The ones I was looking at otherwise cost just about the same. At least this one I know I can build by myself, and I know it will be nice and solid and permanent. Because I know this will last forever, like it will last years. And I think that's really cool. And not to mention too, is I can actually customize it into the size and dimensions that I want. So that's pretty cool. Because all you gotta do is build a frame, which is like a big rectangle, then put a board in the middle of that, at the middle point, and then through the horizontal, or the x-axis, if you will, you can put boards there, and that'll provide the structure enough to keep it stable and make it solid. And then the roof might be a little bit more difficult as well, because I have to build a triangle, so that might be a little bit hard for me to build, but overall it should be pretty easy once I get one done. And I say that now, and later down the road I may be telling you a different story, but I think that's really cool, and I've been really wanting that because it adds so much to the growing season. Because not only can you grow stuff later in the fall time, like beyond the frost point, when everything's too cold outside for things to grow, you continue growing hardier greens like spinach, kale, radishes, and whatnot in the high tunnel. Because it's not going to work like a tropical greenhouse. Like, I can't house no bananas in there or nothing. But it will be warm enough so that way I can go ahead and grow some greens during the cooler crops well into the colder months. And then I can also start my seedlings much earlier and get a head start on there, which would be nice because then it'll give me another space to have my seedlings in that I know that they'll be good and safe. And lighting would be a lot better, which will create a lot more stronger, nicer seedlings. Because otherwise, if you don't have good lighting for seedlings, they get leggy, which means they just kind of stretch out and be very long and thin and collapse underneath their own weight, and it's just not good for them. Trust me, I've had it happen on more than one occasion, unfortunately. So I know that is the truth. But the video is coming to the end now, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And I will say that this is going to be part 1. The next episode is going to be another part to our mining adventure, because I spent so long just clearing out the monsters in this cave that it took me an exceptionally long time to actually get it done. But we'll go ahead and finish up the cave next episode. For now, I will say thank you all for your love and support. It means the world to me. Don't you forget to subscribe for even more awesome videos. Leave a like so I know you like this. Leave me a comment so I can talk to y'all. And share this with your friends and family. And hit the bell to be notified of brand spanking new videos each and every single day, almost. I may skip a day or two. And above all else, have an awesome, amazing, golden day. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.